Welcome back to another episode of our How to Crochet for Beginner series. This video is going to be a little bit different. This video is going to show y'all how to weave in your ends. I'll be showing a few different scenarios, for example, when you finish your project, when you switch colors, a magic circle, and my personal favorite is when you hide in your ends as you work so you don't have to weave it in later. But there are a few tools that you can use to do this. The main tool would be your tapestry needle, but if you don't have one, you can always just use your hook. But hell, I've also used my fingers and bobby pins, so it's really on you. But with that being said, we are just going to jump straight in with my first example. And the most common time to weave in your ends is when you're done with the project. And as you can see, I have two projects right here. This is going to be the example for the color, so we're going to tuck this away. And then I have a lovely granny square for a future project. I will have that linked in the description once when it is posted. But since this is here, as you can see, there's a bunch of ends that we definitely need to weave in. But the easiest one that we can see is the one on the very top, the very last color that we did. I'll show you guys how to use the tapestry needle and the hook. So the first technique I'll be showing you guys is using the tapestry needle. And a little trick that I like to do is twisting the tail end just so I can get it in through the loop of the tapestry needle a little bit easier. And from here, we're going to be weaving in and out of all of these loops that we have. So it's going to be kind of like we're sewing, just weaving in and out of all of these loops. And then I just like to do a couple. I don't know if this is as many as I need or not, but from here I just go ahead and pull this on through, and then everything should weave through. And then as you can see, no more end. And then I'm going to show you one more time with another granny square, but using the hook. So here's another granny square, and as you know, we're going to be working in this very last color, and we're going to be using our hook. So from here, we're going to see where our end starts, and then we're going to go right into that next loop. And we're just going to basically yarn over and then pull through. And we're going to insert our hook in through the next loop, yarn over, pull through. It's the same exact thing as using a needle. We're just using a different tool. We're just going to keep weaving our end in and out of all of these top rows that we have. So this is what it's looking like once we've woven in this end. And as you can see, we have a little chunky right here, but that's fine. You can go ahead and just cut that. So using the same granny square, this example is going to be a 2-in-1 because this very first one is a magic circle. So from here, the way that I like to weave in this end is you can either use your tapestry needle or a hook, but in this case, sometimes you can use a different size hook. That might be a little bit easier. But how to weave in the magic circle end, we're going to insert it onto whatever tool that we have. And then as you can see, obviously the magic circle is going in a circle. So we're just going to weave it in whatever way that the tail is ending. So since my tail is ending on this side, we're going to keep going in that direction. And then we're just going to insert our hook in through the first few loops. And you want to make sure that you're not going in through the front loops because then you'll be able to see the line that goes through. So we're just going to go ahead and weave this through. And then we're going to do this for all the little chunks that we have. So once when I've inserted my tail all the way around in the granny square and I feel like it's secure, I'm just going to pull and then cut. So now that we're done with those two, we're going to move on to the changing colors. It can be a little bit tricky because you don't want the different colors to overlap the other colors and it ruins the piece. So you will have to be cognizant of that. So as you can see, we're going to start down here. I have two colors sticking out. We have a blue and a green. So this is going to depend and going to be different for every piece that you make. But I know that for this piece, I'm going to be doing a border row of single crochet going all the way down. So that will be covering most of the edges. So from here, I'm going to be working along the edges until I get to the color that I need. So we're just going to be weaving in our blue as close to the edge as possible. And now that my blue tail has made it in with the other blue part, we can just weave it in like normal, and it's easier to go with the way that we are working. So since we're working horizontally like this, we're going to be weaving in our ends horizontally. And once when I've woven in the blue, I'm going to do the same for the green. And then I have these two chunks woven in. And I saved the best for last, which is my personal favorite, which is hiding in the ends as you work. I crochet a lot. So the last thing I want to do is to weave in ends to my projects once when I'm already done. I just want to relax when I'm done. So in order to weave them in, we're going to start off with our color. And this can work with single crochets, double crochets, whatever you have. So go ahead and make a slip knot, insert this onto your work, go ahead and pull through. And as you can see, we have two tail ends that we can weave in while we work. So how we do that is that we're just going to hold it down where we're going to start doing our row. So since we're going in this direction, we're going to hold it down in the same direction. And then for this project, I'm just going to do single crochets. And I just did one, and as you can see, it's inside the single crochet. So let's do this a couple more times. Insert our hook, single crochet, making sure that your hook and your yarn goes around the tail ends. So I've single crocheted a little bit past the tail ends, and as you can see, they're completely hidden inside. Sometimes you can see this little guy sticking out, but if you need to, you can go ahead and cut that or pull it a little bit, and then it should tuck right into where you were just working. But I'll keep doing my pattern until I reach up here, and I'll show you one more time. So I just did my pattern all the way up, and I'm going to show you guys how to weave it in one more time, but I'm going to be using different examples like how we just saw the single crochet. I'm also going to be doing double crochet and half double crochet just to show you guys. That's not actually a part of this pattern though. So once when we get here, we have 3 tail ends to weave in, and it doesn't matter that they're different colors. It should be able to lay in nicely instead of having to weave it in so that you see those little chunks. So from here, we're going to do a half double crochet first, since we already know how to do the single crochets. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into our loop, making sure that the tail is in the same spot that we held it in while we were doing our single crochets. So if you put in your hook, you should have the tail end and our work right there as well. But once we have that, we're going to go ahead and yarn over, pull through. And that is our half double crochet with the tail end right in between. We're going to do a half double crochet one more time, yarn over, insert our hook into the loop, holding down our tail, making sure it's laying flat across our work, yarn over, pull through, and if you inspect it, it should be in the same position in between our half double crochet loops that we have on both sides. So the double crochet will be basically the same thing, but I'll show you guys anyways. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next loop, and now that we have 3 different colors, that's totally fine. It should be able to lay in nicely. So make sure that we're holding all of these down over our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and that is our double crochet. And if we inspect it again, we have all 3 colors in between our double crochet loops that we have. So as you can see, I went ahead and single crochet down the rest of my piece while hiding all the ends, and there's nothing sticking out, which is great. But if you have any questions on any of these techniques, please leave a comment down below or on my Twitter or Instagram, both at TCDDIY. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.